Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Coachman pastiche 575. These are essentially a basic walkthrough video on how to set up and operate the caravan. So starting off at the front, you've got your black hitch head here with your black lever. You have to have your black lever up to then wind it down onto the tow wheel itself. Once it's been put down, you'll hear that click. Go down, push up this red button and expose a green ring. You've got your breakaway cable just here. If you have an eye point, legality states it has to be used. If not, just wrap it around the tow ball itself. This one is fitted with Alco ATC, so it is 13-pin electric. So if you do have 7-pin adaptation and you're using adapter, Alco ATC may not activate. But if you do have 7-pin, please make sure to bring yourself an adapter. It's not something that we sell here. Got your handbrake just here, which you just push up and down. Now we're using our test equipment today here, so I have a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose. These gas hoses run for 5 years, so this one's dated 2025. It will take me into 2030. You have the connection point onto the bottle just there, and then a connection onto the regulator itself. It's only a single regulator with this one, but what you have to do, essentially connect both sides, make sure that side's nice and firm, hand tighten that one as much as you can, and then just nip it up using the spanner, as you don't want it ridiculously tight, as otherwise it's putting a lot of pressure on the actual seal itself. Once that's done, twist the gas bottle in the positive direction, and that will then begin to feed the gas into the system. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can grab yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs. They are simply used for stabilisation. First level using your jockey wheel, and then stabilise using all 4 corner steadies. Starting off with the opposing side, we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when you're operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. And then we've got an acro full of clean drinking water and your water pump just here. So water pump itself connects in just pressing in. Got a plastic cap to go over the top of the acro to make sure no nastiness gets in. Then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise it will just gasp through air and lead to coughs and splutters. So always make sure that's at the bottom. Then you can also lock this into place by pressing that down, and as you can see you can't remove it. Next up you've got your battery locker. So this example does have a battery fitted, as you can see, and then you just have a plug-in for your mains just here. A little bit of a cutout there where you can feed the mains lead through so that you can lock up the locker. Motor mover we will go over on collection. Just here you have 2 points, and that is where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then lastly we have your toilet function. So just grab the keys here. So first up, got your flush tank here. So that is where you'll feed in your clean water for the flush system itself. It can hold 12 litres total, or well, what I'd recommend is to only put in about 10, as you don't want to overfill it. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive, and also makes it smell a little bit nicer. Then we've got your cassette just here, so open that up. You've got your cassette. When the cassette is full and you need to empty it, lift up this handle here and pull out just like so. You can also extend that handle out and pull it up just like that to essentially make it into a bit of a carry-on. When you've got to the emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, open up that cap, and what you want to do is tilt, and at the same time it's tilting, continually pressing that button there to vent. What I would recommend you do afterwards, open up that compartment add in some fresh water, a little bit of a shake, and then tilt and vent again. Then on this cap you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, back onto that cap, twist that head to the side, push it in so that that orange handle sits behind those white teeth, so then it can't be removed without pressing up the handle. Then you don't want to travel with either of these too full, so just up here got a little bung to empty out the remaining parts of the flush tank. The caravan will be fully drained before you leave with it. First up, you have all of this underneath your right hand side seat, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here. First up, you have your boiler just here if you ever need to do a reset on that. And then see if I can zoom in on it. That yellow switch there, that is your drain valve. So when it's in the horizontal position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. When you flick it up to the vertical position, that will drain off any water inside the system. So when you leave with it, we will have flicked it up to the vertical position. So just switch it back down. You can access it by lifting this up, but that's the main point just there. November to March, have that in the vertical position permanently, as any water inside the system will freeze over and burst the pipes. And make sure you don't travel with any water inside the system as well, as it can cause a bit of damage. So always give a quick drain off before you leave. This is your alarm system just here. Then you have this blue box, which is your brain box for your motor mover. So motor mover, alarm. You've got your solar panel regulator on the side just there, which will give a nice trickle charge to the battery. And flick this down, you've got all your trips and fuses, all your trips in the upright position, all your fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend to carry some extra fuses inside the caravan as well. Did just forget to mention there are two yellow switches, so to drain it you have to flick up both of them like so. Then just here we have your main control system, which operates everything bar the heating and hot water, which is ran through that panel. You've got your main on and off switch just here, internal light, awning light just there. As you can see, that's on. That's just a blank button there. Press that in, and that tells you the amount of charge coming in from either your mains or your battery. Mains when you're plugged in, battery when you're not. And then you have your water pump just here. So press in water, make sure the pump itself is outside and at the bottom of the barrel, and that your drain valve is in the correct position. Then what you need to do is realistically wait about 2 to 3 minutes, come over to your taps, and then open it up on both hot and cold. Now, as I've not had the heating on, hot's going to cough and splutter a little bit, but what you're looking for is that nice, steady, continuous stream. So as I said, I'd recommend waiting about 2 to 3 minutes just to start off with, just so it can actually be drawn through and circulate around. Then just come over and open up both this front tap, the back tap, and the shower if you're going to be actively using all of them, and you're just looking for that nice steady stream. Now for the actually heating itself, you come to this panel here. So this is your outer panel. This is the home screen, tells you the internal temperature of the caravan, what it is currently. It's currently 19 degrees. Press menu and you'll come to this screen. So first up, you've got the house with the thermometer in it. That is for the internal temperature that you desire. So it goes up in 0.5, so you can see it's 7. Compress and hold as well to make it go up and down. Whatever you set it to, it will get to that temperature. Usually takes about an hour. Next up, you've got your water temperature just here for that shower icon. So you can either have that at mid or full. So mid will get the water temperature to around about 40 to 50 degrees. And then full will get it to around about 60 to 70. And it will prioritize the water heat over the actual heating of the caravan itself for about 30 minutes. So that's ideal if you're wanting to use the shower in the morning or the night. I'm not going to discriminate when you use the shower. And then once it's had them 30 minutes, it will then drop back down to that position. Then you have your energy sources just here. So you can either run electric with 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Now please do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatt capacity, especially if the site is rather full. Or I can run strictly gas by pressing that button, or a mixture of gas and 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. So quick summary: internal temperature, water temperature, energy sources. Then you do have some additional settings just here. Not going to go through that, as we have set this to what we believe is the most user-friendly interface. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book pack, please do so. So quickly go back to this: internal light, awning light, water pump, battery. Whenever you put the water on, come over to the taps and let it run for about 30 seconds to get that nice, steady, continuous stream. Then you have your hob, grill and oven. So all of this operates off gas minus the electric plate. Electric plate, put whatever temperature you want to get to and it will get to that temperature. Everything else you have to press in on the dial, twist it to the side, and at the same time press the igniter. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. Now when you first come to turn these on, this is the first thing I'd recommend doing when you first put the gas on. Just make sure all of these burners are working. It may come off after a couple of seconds once you first initially put it on, and then just re-engage it. That's just the gas working its way through the system. Then you have your hob. Again, you can see a little bit weird on the camera, but nice and lit. And lastly, your oven. And as you can see at the back there, all nice and lit. Only other real thing to note: make sure you travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are cold to the touch, and make sure you don't travel with your gas on. Then here we have your fridge operation. So to turn this on, press and hold in here, it will flash up and then go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. Now if I don't interact with this for a few seconds, it will automatically turn itself off, as you can see there, but the green light stays active just there. Now to change the source, press and hold on this button. It will begin to flash up, so I can cycle through the different sources. So you've got mains. That battery symbol is not for operation on your leisure battery, it's for operation when you're plugged in with 13-pin electrics. Or I've got gas just there. So let's go over to gas. Now, only really use for gas if you're off grid, to be honest, as otherwise you don't want to waste it. And then you have the choice of the amount of power. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. It does take around 4 hours for it to fully chill. Then to select, press in on that. So now I'm active on gas. Now with gas, you'll gradually hear it begin to tick in slowly. Then once it's finished ticking, that means it is then active. So change source, press and hold in. So I can either go back or forwards using these buttons. So let's say I want to run mains, press in, full capacity, just like so. Don't want to use the fridge anymore, press and hold just here. No more green light, no longer on. It does take around 4 hours for this to fully chill. So what I'd recommend you doing is chilling it whilst you're driving, either that or chilling it at home, as this is another function that you will need 13-pin to 13-pin to actually use. So if you're using an adapter, just chill it at home the night previous. Then lastly, we have your toilet operation, which you might say is about simple. Press this button here, this is your flush button. You can hear that motor whir. Now that motor is what would push around any water inside the flush tank. Now as we've already emptied it, you can only hear the motor, but you can hear it just there. Then to empty any waste inside that compartment, press away on that handle, opens up the cassette and pull it back towards you after you've dropped whatever it is. Make sure it's pulled back, as otherwise you can't empty the cassette from the other side. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red icon come up here telling you to empty it.